Hello and welcome to this tour of the iBreviary app. Let's go ahead and jump in. So when you open the app, you'll be greeted with this screen. It'll have the date at the top, and if it's a saint's feast day, it'll indicate it to you here. Today is the feast of Saint John Newman. And if you want to know a little bit more about a particular saint or a feast day, you can tap on the name there in the middle, and it'll give you now biographies and explanations might vary in length. This one's only a paragraph. I've seen ones that are several paragraphs, like pages long, but typically they're around 2 to 3 paragraphs long. To change the settings on the app, you click on the little gear and you can change the text size. You can also do this while praying, before starting to pray. Just some features: you can change the text size, you can change the background size, background brightness. Some things that I've used on occasion is the text reading. So let's say you're driving, but obviously you can't look at your phone. You can have the app read the prayers to you. You can also enable auto scroll. So if you need to do this hands-free, you can have the screen move down for you, and it'll so you don't need to keep using your finger to scroll. Another feature that I like, and I've used on occasion, is let's say you're in a place where internet is a little spotty, or you're planning to travel somewhere where you're not sure of the internet situation. You can download future days so that you can pray those without needing the internet. It takes a little bit of planning, but you might want to, just something good to know. You can download the entire week if you wish. Now, to actually get started with praying the breviary, you tap on the little hamburger at the top, the 3 lines in the top left corner, and you have here, now it's not just the breviary, it'll also have the missal, the readings of the day that would be read at Mass, prayers, and various blessings and rites. This was designed for priests, with priests and religious in mind. So there are certain things that the lay person cannot pray officially, but it might be helpful if your priest friend is in a pinch and needs to do something on the fly, or if you want to follow along, there's nothing wrong with that. But let's go ahead and go into the breviary. Once you tap the breviary, also known as the Liturgy of the Hours or the Divine Office, you have these different prayer hours of the day. So there's the Office of Readings, morning prayer, daytime prayers, evening prayer, nighttime, and the various commons. The commons are, for special feast days, if you want to pray the Liturgy of the Hours for a doctor of the church, or on a martyr's feast day or something like that, you can pray these. Otherwise, it'll just be the regular readings of the regular office of the day. Let's take a look at morning prayer. Okay, when you're praying the morning prayer, let's make the text a little bit bigger for this, so you can. There we go. So when you get to an hour of the day, it'll start you off with the invitatory for morning prayer and the Office of Readings. Those are typically prayed in the morning. So you pray the invitatory for the first hour of the day, whether it's one of those. Now, of course, for lay people, the liturgy, you're not obligated to pray any of the hours. So whether you do the morning prayer or not, you pray the evening prayer or night prayer, that's fine. But you usually want to start with the invitatory, whatever hour you pray. But the invitatory will appear with the Office of Readings and the morning prayer. Anyway, the little cross is an indicator to do the sign of the cross So we'll say, Lord, open my lips, and my mouth will proclaim your praise. And you do the sign of the cross as you say that in individual recitation. This is the Liturgy of the Hours is designed to be prayed in community as well. So you can, I like to pray this with my wife. And so the little dash there means that's where the so the prayer leader will begin with Lord, open my lips, and anyone else praying will chime in at the dash part. And then we'll begin with the invitatory. Usually it's Psalm 95, that's kind of the go-to, but you can also pray Psalm 24, 67, or 100 as the invitatory, but you only have to pray one of those. After the invitatory, you can go to the hymn. Usually the hymns are hit and miss with me. I know them sometimes I don't. But you don't have to, I mean, at very worst, or at the very least, it's a nice poem that you can read, even if you don't know the song, to kind of get you in a nice spiritual mood. And then once you're done with the hymn, you can, and there may be an option for that, but you can just click on the hyperlink to get to the psalmody. The psalmody is the part where you read the psalms. There's usually 3 psalms or 2 psalms and a canticle. And then once you go through the psalms, there'll be a little short reading like this, a responsory, and then the gospel canticle. The gospel canticle will be found in morning and evening prayers. For morning, it's the canticle of Zechariah, and for evening prayer, it's the canticle of Mary, or the Magnificat. And that's the second place where you would do the sign of the cross. As you begin the canticle, you see that little cross there, that means to do the sign of the cross. In religious communities, they'll stand and pray this, and if you're of course welcome to do that for personal devotion. After the gospel canticle, there'll be intentions, intercessions, kind of like how we pray that at church or at Mass. And here is where I like to add personal intentions after I've prayed these. You don't have to, of course, because these take care of a great deal of our intentions as a church. We conclude that with the Lord's Prayer, the concluding prayer, and for the dismissal, there's the 2 above. The 2 dismissals above are for if there's a priest present, but if not, lay people may use the dismissal at the bottom. May the Lord bless us, protect us from all evil, and bring us to everlasting life. Notice the little cross means that it's time to do the closing sign of the cross. And that's the breviary. Hope you found this helpful, and God bless.